Infamy is a Netflix series from Poland. And what is your opinion on that?
My opinion is it's mixed. It's super nice to see this in Netflix, in biggest platform, but the story it's kind of tricky and can be controversial. How, for example, they're showing indoors of the Roma houses, also some behaviors, some stereotypes. But for me, it was fun to see this, and of course to see familiar faces because a lot of people I know.
Welcome to the podcast Amaro Voice. Amaro is from the Romani language and means our Roma and Sinti voices among Europe. My name is Senor Memishi. I'm Roma, journalist, and activist from Germany. Today, my guest is Delfin Lakatosz. Hello, Delfin. Thank you for being our guest. Of course, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Delfin, and thank you for the invitation. Yeah, my destination is Poland. I'm an independent filmmaker, videographer. I'm editing videos across the whole globe, I think. Because I uh, had a lot of experience with the videos, with the production, and this is my main job.
So, my first question is, what was your motivation to be a filmmaker?
Yeah, the history of my journey to this point is that everything was begun from my childhood because all the time, you know, I really like it to watch movies, and I asked it to my mom how is make how this movie is made, you know, the special effects, the actors, and everything. My uncle uh, visiting us at home, he bringing the camera, and always wonder how the camera works, you know, and he showing me the tools like zoom and everything, how to make a photo, how to make a video, and of course I can really touch the camera and test of it, and then I started to winning first competitions. There was a competition for Roma students, and it was this was a really important competition for me because it was for Roma talents. So it was like music, art, and etc. And I started in art competition, and I won. And for this money, I bought the small camera in with the small DV cassettes, you know, tapes. And then how we start recording with my sister, how to say, like Charlie Chaplin, for example, making silent movies, you know. So the first movies were silent because this webcam didn't have a microphone, you know. So we had a lot of fun with the recording dubbing for our movies from separate microphone, and I started to recording more and more and more. I'm starting and learning to edit videos, um, how to direct, how to telling the stories.
So in the beginning, you mentioned already the competition for Roma artists about movies and other arts. So can you explain more about this?
And that was made, and this still is in the making, this competition, because this competition have roots from since 2006 or 5, and I started in 2006. Yeah, 2006. There was a competition for talented Roma students, uh, and was from 12 to 18 years old Roma. And during this competition was like 5 days of the competition time. It was workshop time. It was integration, and that's all was presented in the front of jury. And then the jury selected the best Roma talents, and then giving to you the stipendium, how to honorary stipendium, yeah, for next steps of your skills. I mean, you can use this money for only for your talent skills, not for things. So I started to with my camera, exactly, and I bought the camera and then started to filming. But after a couple of years, I won this competition because I started from one category like art, painting, and later my sister also, Noemi, was in this competition, and she also won this competition several times. And after the several years, I we was invited like a special guest with our own exhibition art, you know. So it was truly amazed by organizers, by people, because during this day we have contacts with the older participants from this competition, and now they are, you know, professional singers, producers, with the skills. So it was nice competition.
I mean, this is a good example for a good opportunity and perspective for people, like for your example, interested in making movies. Who influenced you as a filmmaker, and maybe also what was your inspiration? Which kind of movies, or when you was younger, was there other Roma people from Poland who was filmmaker, something like this?
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah, that's the question. Thank you for asking. Um, I need to speak about like who inspired me, because inspiration was started with watching movies, exactly, and I started, for example, from Spielberg's movies, because I watched I watched them the most, you know, like Jurassic Park, like E.T., you know, this kind of 80 and 90s movies. So that was fascinating me, how the movie industry changed the how this yeah how these movies change the movie industry in the future and now. And yeah, I was wonder from the technical point, and after I was wonder about acting and everything, but mostly by technique stuff, like image, like of course the story, how the story is evolving in the movies. And yeah, the Spielberg was the most common person which inspired me. But During the years, a lot of different directors inspired me the most. Also, my ideas was very crazy for short movies. It was like the first movie which I won in 2012. It was the first movie which I sent it to some competition, and those movie was made on phone during the Christmas. We maybe look like teenagers with the who playing with the you know like run away. And I started to filming this when the trolley shop hunting my sister, and then after this we staying on the crowd, to for to buy these products. Was a lot of crowd, and I started editing this movie on the phone, and yeah, it was like a 3 minutes movie, and I sent it um, to competition, and it won. It was a winner. The second place of the category of teenage category, and the jury, one of the person, the woman, she said like she never saw this kind of before this kind of movie, and she was impressed by idea to turn life into vehicle. Like main vehicle was the supermarket trolley, and this kind of idea won, and I started to creating more. you know I starting to creating more and more and more. I watched, for example, Emil Kusturica films like Black Cat and White Cat. It was the first movie which I remember as a kid. Like we watched with the family this movie, and I remember that this movie. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand the inside jokes and everything. But after the years, I understand, and I also met the actor who played the main actor. Uh, During the another project in Macedonia, I we had a meeting, and then this this actor was talking with us. So it was nice experience to see the main character in real life. So
Learning Romani language. On this podcast, we have a category called Learning Romani language, where we compare three words or phrases in different Roma dialects. First, I would like to ask you, do you speak the Roma language? And which dialect do you speak?
I speak Romani language, but not much as I can. Mostly, I speaking in Polish, or mixing Roman and Polish language, because I had a problem because my father was sick from childhood, because he didn't hearing well, and his hearing is not good, and his brain also is not good. And in our family we using easy Roma language, very easy, to not complicate the communication with my father. So that's how there was a lot of meetings with the families, sometimes with different families from different cities uh, in our family. And my dialect is a Kelderasher Roma. I think this is not important, the accent. The main thing, because I mentioned the competition when I started. There was a lot of group kids, teenagers with other Roma clans, Roma groups. The Mountains Roma, Kelderasher Roma, Polish Roma, um, Bergitka. This is the name of the group, and all this group, the each kid speaking also Roma, of course, but we didn't matching our words like, uh, oh, this word is different, this word is different. No, just we speak mixing this language with the Polish. If you um, if you want to say Polish, because that was the competition. Like, not too complicating the our language, and to speak how you heard you want, like not by default. Like, Roma is default language and you need to use. It's hard to explain which language I use, which dialect, because I'm not speaking fluent. I'm not speaking every day in Roma, but I hearing, I understand. But for me, it's not easy to speak in Roma smooth in smooth way.
So my dialect is called Arli. It's a Roma dialect which is spoken by Roma from Kosovo, Serbia, and other Balkan countries. And also in our dialect, we don't have 100% Roma words in our dialect, in our language. So in our dialect, we use also a lot of Turkish and Serbian words mixed with the Roma words. So first is, how would you say in your dialect, what are you doing?
Sokeres.
We say sokere, it's the same, just at the end without S. Do you know also other words? So, example, you are a filmmaker, so maybe do you have a word for recording?
I don't have, but when I sharing, for example, for my father, what I'm doing, I said kera filmo. It's hard when I normally I don't thinking about how to say. I just saying, but we need to replacing words because some they are not exist in Roma language, and we mixing the Roma with the Polish, adding the phrase in the end of the word, like os, like, for example, Facebookos, uh, or, for example, computeros, I don't know, or laptopos, I don't know.
Yeah, we do also the same, just for us, it's like the last word is I. Like, example, we would say computeri. So, do you have also other words or other example for phrases?
Yeah, I have a okay. For example, the sentence like, my mother doesn't know. For example, mira mama na hachare.
That's interesting. So, we would say midai najanol. And this was our rubric, Learning Romani Language. Learning Romani language. Why do you think it's important to have more movies about Roma from filmmaker who are Roma?
For example, in Poland, they started to showing more our culture in movie industry, in series, in television, and that's nice because, for example, they um, promoting Roma festivals. One of them is in Poland, uh, year by year, and it's 36 years now. It was 36th edition of Roma Festival Romana de Vesa, and the transmission is on the TV, our TV in Poland. Also is global because this you can see on the internet also. Um, so we have a series like on Netflix. It's a series called Infamy, but there is a lot of good reviews and not good reviews, but mostly people like this.
You just mentioned about Infamy because my next question is about Infamy. Infamy is a Netflix series from Poland. And what is your opinion on that?
My opinion is it's mixed because from other one time it's super nice to see this in Netflix, in biggest platform. Also, the second, really nice music and scenes. I mean, uh, the views. How to say, the scenes, the music, the scenes, the visuals are very nice, but the story it's kind of tricky and can be controversial. How, for example, they're showing indoors of the Roma houses, also some behaviors, some stereotypes. But of course, I think that they wanted to not to showing specific one group of the Roma, but maybe taking some inspirations from different groups and putting it together, maybe like this. And this is we need to say something. This is not a real story based on something. So you can be mm, theoretical and uh, saying like this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and it's the shame of Roma. And I think this is like science fiction because this is a story. So the storytellers can do whatever they want, but of course they need to be more maybe sensitive about some cultures because some scenes are can be controversial, you know, for the perspective of for example elders Roma group, you know. But for me it was fun to see this, and of course to see familiar faces, because a lot of people I know. And I know the, for example, was a very funny role of the Roma boy in this main family, which had a really colorful costumes and everything, and he was frustrating and everything. And I know him. He's Angelo, and he started in competition when I mentioned before, and he started winning the competition in singing category, and now he have all his own band, Roma band, and they playing across the Poland and sometimes Europe. So this is very nice, and this band is they names Romano Drum.
Can you explain how the process looks like when you start to work, like to create a short movie, etc.? I mean, I know we know each other from Dignabista since 2019, but maybe to explain for the others.
Yes, so my main camera is a phone, um, and that's always from a several of couple of years when I starting on editing on and creating on the phone. It was something special. Like you can have camera in your pocket and you can take off from your pocket and you can start creating. And I starting to exploring this device, how you can push forward more. And I starting to explore like for the iPhones, for smartphones, they have a lot of gadgets. And now in this movie industry, they pushing forward the more gadgets for this device. So this small device, you can you can record, you can edit, you can share. And this was, you know, 10 years ago, if someone explained me you need to have a camera to make a big movies, now I can say no. This is no There's no rules for filmmaking, for creating. You can use your old mobile camera. You can do a process, creative process in your mind, and then you can use this device whatever you want. You can mix them, and you can start creating, because this is only a tool. This is like your hammer, you know. And you have a table is your, for example, a software. I mean the program. When you're doing, you have your timeline. Your table, for example, is your timeline, and you have all your tools like hammer, like keys, like everything, and you starting creating. And no matter which program, which software you use, because we have idea, and you mm, you know what to do or how to do, you can do this. But you can think first how to do, and then transfer your idea uh, to uh, to your work, you know. And yeah, I started with the phone, and still I'm recording on a phone. And that's how I'm using, for example, a third part apps, you know, for manual control. I using gadgets like, for example, the tripod, microphones, lights. But this is not exactly important, because it depends from the situation. I can use only one device without any accessories, you know. When the movie project is bigger, I using some tools to improve my work, of course, like lights, like microphones, and um, I'm taking, for example, with me my iPad, which is, for example, like a second monitor, because I can direct, I can record movie, and I can share directly into iPad, and I can start editing, or I can start edit on the phone. Yeah, I started, for example, also doing workshops how to making movies on the smartphone. So I started to learning kids, teenagers, elders, how to use your perfect device, which is always with you.
We are coming almost to the end. Do you have any anecdote to share with us? Like a short, funny story or other story can be related with your work or from uh, works with projects like when you was in Diknabisa or other events when you was creating movies?
I remember this the best motivation for your work, like to saying for someone, you are the best, you are the boss, you're doing well, you're good. And this is nice motivation for a work. But I remember when we worked in the media team in the Hinabister, uh, we did a lot of different or similar uh, sentence about movie work, about the creating, about everything. So it was nice. Like, I learning something from you, because you are mostly you are closer to voice, to podcasts, to music. So I can learn from you this point, how the technical stuff. So that was nice. And also the working in media group, media team, during the Dikina Bister was for me challenge to hear everyone, to be like a one organism, like one bacteria. I mean, no bacteria, but one one puzzle, and yeah, that was for me a challenge to understand the process, how to be on the time, how to be in the group, but not like separate. And also the time was so fun, like we meeting in one place. We had a lot of tasks to do, but some tasks was failed, but it's okay, we learning from ourselves. So I think I remember the time was pretty
Delphine, thank you for the interview. I will put all links from your work, from your videos in the description, and people can also watch them. I remember one thing from Dikina Vista. Always when we was in Dikina Vista, when we was using the elevator, you was there with your phone and with your music box and
yeah,
putting some
yeah.
elevator music.
Because the elevator is the most the most underrated place. It's okay, because the elevator is like a transport. It's not a it's like a taxi. And you invite a lot of people sometimes in the elevator, and no one speaking, even good morning, even. But this is the our common place, our place. Of course, we have we have a short time, seconds, and but this is time like the time is flying so slow because everyone's so silent, and I want to maybe crush the pressure and put some music in. You know, that's how I putting the elevator music.
Do you have any closing words?
Yeah, the future plan. The future plans is to making more, meeting more people, meeting more places, being in good relation with the new changes in our lives, like artificial intelligence, for example. Because when I want to say something from my point of view is that like I'm using the artificial intelligence like a tool, but not in 100%, but in 20%. Why? Because I seeing a lot of people in the brands making shitty graphics or shitty posters, shitty movie stuff and everything using only artificial intelligence, and this making me angry. And in because uh, this is a tool like others. So using this 100% artificial intelligence is for me, mm, they not make sense because mm, the movies and the photos and your work don't have a soul, you know, it's like soulless. So I'm using the 20% to give a little bit magic for my work and speed up the process. So I'm not using 100%, I'm using the 20%. This is the best mixing.
Thanks for watching or listening. See you next time. Ciao and devlesa. This podcast is funded by the Stiftung Erinnerung, Verantwortung und Zukunft e.V.Z. as part of the project Amaro Voice, digitale Bildungsarbeit über die Communities der europäischen Sinti und Roma bei der NGO Medien und Kulturzentrum Deutscher Roma e.V.